Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to play Kalista AD carry in Season 11, guys. While teaching you guys everything about Kalista, we're also going to be watching a very specific player. This guy is the rank 2 player on the EOS server, guys. He currently has a total of 1,416 LP right now, and he's completely destroying solo queue. Just look at this. Including with Kalista here as well, guys. This guy actually plays outstanding with Kalista. Just take a look at this. Anyways, guys, we're going to be watching this guy, and while watching him, I'm going to be teaching a lot of stuff with this as well. So with that being said, let's just get started right away. Now, quickly going over the runes that this guy is using. He's always going with Hail of Blades as the main keystone. He also takes Taste of Blood, Zombie Ward, Relentless Hunter, Presence of Mind, Alacrity, Attack Speed, AD, and also Armor. He also takes a Doran's Blade in most of his games, pretty much like 95% of his games. This is what I also recommend you guys. Pretty much just take Doran's Blade in most of your games. Unless you are playing a super heavily poke, you can also take Doran's Shield, but most of the time Doran's Blade is just fine. Now, in terms of the skill order, this might surprise you, but all Kalista players are all maxing E. This Kalista player, however, he's maxing his Q first in every single game that he plays. Then maxes his E as secondary. And then, of course, maxes his W as last. What also seems very interesting about this Kalista player is the fact that he doesn't even put a single point into his W up to like level 9 in this game. He doesn't do this very often. This is actually the only game where he actually saved that point. Usually he likes to put a point to his W at level 3, but this game specifically, he doesn't do that actually. In terms of summoner spells, I recommend taking Exhaust in most of your games, or Heal. Exhaust is pretty advanced, Heal is also pretty good in just every game. Kind of depends on the situation. Now, as far as the entire Kalista build, guys, I'm going to put the entire build into the description below. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, he's currently into the Kalista with Taric into the Ezreal Yuumi matchup here. This is actually a kind of a decent matchup. The only thing is, like, Kalista and Taric together, they have to, like, scale up just a little bit. If Taric only gets a single stun off, they can directly go in, proc the Halo Blades and everything. It's actually like a really good looking matchup. The only concern is that Ezreal and Yuumi is a poking matchup. Like a heavy poking matchup. So they got to be really careful with how they get hit by the Qs and everything. Now, a couple things to note about Kalista, guys. If you are a god at Kalista, if you are actually really good at Kalista and you got the mechanics for it, you can actually hit a creep, you can stack it up, and then throw the Q, destroy the creep, and then transfer over everything of the E all the way to the opponent. Having like all the stacks onto the opponent, then proccing like E. Also keep in mind that if you're playing Kalista, if you are actually farming out and you want to trade your opponent properly, you can hit him, stack it up, and then hit a creep and then reset your E that way. It's some pretty advanced stuff, but if you are playing like a lot of Kalista, you can get the hang of this. She becomes like really, really good if you are really good at her. Look at the Taric stun. You see, guys, they only get one single Taric stun off on this poking matchup. All that Kalista needs to do is simply go in, proc the Halo Blades, and do as much damage as possible. Look at this. Taric goes in for the engage every time, and then Kalista literally goes in, proccing everything, and then just takes them down. Cannon also coming in on the back. Anyways, guys, Kalista is this kind of a strange champion. There are a lot of matchups where you can actually play really aggressive, but there are also matchups where you have to play very defensive. And it also like heavily depends on the support itself. Depending on the support that you have to either play aggressive or defensive. Usually, like, engaged champions are, like, you have scaling champions such as Taric, Lulu, and all the other champions. You just gotta play safe most of the time because the matchups are usually pretty bad for you. But if you have something like a Taric or you have like super aggressive supports like Nautilus or even Leona, you can actually like do a lot. Anyways, the first item you always want to get, regardless of the situation, literally every single game, you want to take the Berserker's Greaves as the first item. Literally. Doesn't matter what matchup. Mainly because this item provides attack speed, which is really good for Kalista. It's basically her main source of damage, so it can get her like stack up. And you have the movement speed, which allows her like kite a lot more easy through the passive. Keep in mind, guys, you always want to get Berserker's Greaves first item. It just makes laning phase easier. Now, if you are playing Kalista the same way like this guy does, and you're basically like putting points into your Q, like maxing your Q first, what you can do, similar to other champions like Ashe, is basically having the push and then forcing your opponents to be in a spot where you can hit your Q quite easily, right? For instance, right now, the wave is in this position right now. If they were to be really far away, like starting from really far away, Kalista could easily hit a Q because there's no creeps around, right? They can't hide anywhere from creeps. You want to force your opponents to be in a position where there are no creeps, so that you can constantly hit your Qs a lot more easily. Also, whenever a creep goes down, like I mentioned before, actually stacking up and then hitting your Q to transfer it over is also a pretty good mechanic. It's hard to pull off, but it's possible. Look at that. They instantly go, like, as soon as they come back to lane, instantly hitting a Q. You see that? This is important, guys. You need to force them into positions where you can actually hit it more easily. Kindred is currently coming bot lane. They're playing super aggressive to go for the dive here. Actually misses the Q, but still does like a decent amount of damage. That's actually a pretty good dive by Kindred. You see, guys, Kindred and Kalista and Taric both have like they really they warded the river properly with the control ward. The only concern is that they didn't really got to see the graves. But the dive was really good. It was very good. Because they had the push, they were able to dive them on the turret as well. Why do I keep saying Kindred? I'm actually saying Kindred, but I mean Kalista. Alright. All that she has to do now is simply to reset the wave soon and then actually get back to base and for the next components. If they get a proper push right now, they could also like walk up to the dragon and take that too. If only Taric hits a single stone on Ezreal, Kalista can directly go in, stack it up, and kill her easily. Just have to sit back on her turret now. Grace is also nearby. Kindred is also nearby. Just gotta wait now. Taric will eventually heal up both again. Look at that. Wall farming, stacking it up. Look at that. Cancelling like the auto with the Q as well. Akali coming in with a TP as well. So far, the way how this Kalista player plays it out, like this guy is honestly so clean with Kalista. Even when the fight began, he auto into Q into auto in such a smooth, flawlessly way. This is like this champion requires a lot of mechanics, but once you can pull that off, it's so like Kalista is still like insanely good in season 11. Anyways, this guy is currently building towards a Rageblade, and it might sound insane. Like usually you want to buy mythic items, right? But this guy specifically, he likes to rush the Rageblade as the first item of the game because it's pretty OP at the moment. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this. You can also start off with the mythic item right away as shown inside the description. But you can technically buy Rageblade first item. It's actually pretty good. It's kind of like very situational. If you're unsure, you should just go for the mythic item all the time and get a Rageblade later. Kalista went for the push in bot lane, then immediately rotating to mid lane afterwards. Having the presence, being able to press R to catch that guy. Always keep in mind, guys, that if you are pushing down that lane, you basically give yourself the opportunity to roam to mid lane as well, guys. Use that to your advantage. Don't just stay around in the lane walking circles, but rather try to push that wave so you can rotate towards mid when you see the opportunity, when you see the catch. You see, guys, before this guy gets even back to the lane, he's also taking down a jungle camp as well, which is really good. It's going to make Graves fall behind a little bit, and it also gives Kalista the advantage, getting like a little bit more XP. Kalista needs to walk all the way around, because if he actually went through the lane, like Astro could have pulled like an entire EQ combo with auto. As soon as his lane resets again, Taric only needs to hit a single stun, and then she can go all into all in again. There's a TP coming in, they just have to all in now. Oh. That cannon though. No speed, but I wonder if they get them. That's actually really good TP. Another fight coming in here soon again. Akali's here as well. There you go. Grouping around between the two turrets right now. They're 100% going to win this one. Even if they don't get the kills, they're being forced to go back to base, and Kalista can just clean up the entire wave and then push up to the turret. You see, guys, Astro is currently like between the tier 2 and tier 3 turret. They're about to miss the entire wave, which this basically allows Kalista to get like multiple platings as well. She can get at least all platings. She can get another one. She can also get the next upcoming wave as well. But yeah, guys, honestly, this is very interesting. Like, Kalista is currently putting points into Q and into E, but not into W yet. Gets that plating as well. There is Riven coming from behind, though. That TP from Riven. Wasn't really gonna work either way. Yeah, because Kalista had ultimate. It was a nice attempt though. If she gets back to base now, she can afford the Rageblade. Once she gets to the Rageblade, Kalista becomes extremely OP. The Rageblade is the power spike of Kalista. So whether it's like Mythic Item or Rageblade, they're both really good. She's gonna get back here. Completely nearly finishes the item. Hasn't actually got it yet. Nearly. She bought the Noon Cover just for the laning phase, and then gets the Rage Knife and the Cloak of Agility and like everything else for the Rage Blade. Still has no point into W. Once she reaches level 9, I believe that's where she puts her first point into it. All that's left to do now is simply to reset the lane. Start pushing down that lane. As soon as the jungler, the enemy jungler arrives on the map, they need to look for like an all-in. Only one stun on Ezreal is enough. Look at the way how Kalista is like positioning herself in a risky moment like this. Now we can push. It's gonna be a free push once again. Ezreal's not gonna get this one. Even if Ezreal does attempt to like show up here, and Galio, I mean Riven is currently mid. Galio is missing, but they don't really appear anywhere though, at all. They can like as long as they have vision across the map and they know where Galio is and where everybody else is, like Kalista can continue to like split bot lane, right? and then continue like using that to like rotate back to mid again. She can do this on repeat right now because of the way how everybody is positioned. Using the turret to like kite. Gets that kill as well. Honestly pretty clean like by the team itself. Gets another turret once again, guys. So far, Kalista has played this so clean because multiple times Riven, Galio, and Greaves have tried an attempt to gank bot lane, and Kalista has been able to survive everything. Every single gank that they've done so far, Kalista has calculated everything, and they haven't even got a chance to even kill Kalista at all. She's just been like playing this out so clean. She currently has the Rageblade right now. She's about to get the next item, which is going to be the mythic item. Which is going to be... What is it called again, actually? What is the new item called again? I keep forgetting the name. Immortal Shieldbow. Immortal Shieldbow and Kalista is actually pretty good because it both it provides all the stats that you need, while also being pretty safe. And it actually works really, really good with Rageblade as well. The team's currently pushing top lane. Akali is up to a Riven in bot lane right now. This leaves nobody in mid, so Kalista just gets a free push right here once again. Once she takes down that turret, she'll also get the solo XP as well, which is pretty good for her. They're fighting there right now. Kalista's moving up to it. Like, there's already like 2 massive levels difference between these guys. Nearly gets that Yumi, but couldn't activate the E. Throwing in like auto attacks on the creeps to get a little bit of lifesteal back, or a little bit of HP. Always keep in mind, guys, with your ultimate with Kalista, a lot of people tend to forget this, but if you're using your ultimate with Kalista, most people are using it aggressively, but keep in mind with Kalista you can also just save your support the whole time if they play really bad. This is why I consider Kalista to be a really good AD carry, because you can save your supports with it most of the time. When she gets back to base now, she will be super close to the item. She just got the recursive bow. You will need this. She also got the lifesteal for the mythic item. Now, literally, the only thing left to do right now, after playing like so clean, like if the team just pushes mid right now, the dragon is alive within 50 seconds. So, if the team now groups up, pushes mid with 5, forces the inhibitor, then directly rotate towards the dragon, they will get multiple objectives. They're definitely strong enough to force all of this now. Takes it down instantly. She can just force this inhib. No problem for Kalista now. Like, she's honest, like she's so far ahead of the enemy team currently. She's pretty much the same level like top and mid of the enemy team. She could even 1v1 Riven right now because she also has exhaust. It's on cooldown currently, but once she gets it back, she could even 1v1 Riven. Dragon is alive right now. They can simply rotate to it. As they are moving towards it, they can also just take all the camps. Takes it down. Amazing. All that's left to do now is having the team to actually push mid. Akali's teleport is currently up as well. She's currently like splitting top lane, so all that's left to do now is having the team to group here. Using the inhibitor to like hide towards the team fight is faster, while also damaging the inhibitor. Akali could just teleport right now and just win it. Yeah, this is very so trolling. The game is pretty much over here at this point. Yeah, this is pretty much where the game is gonna end. Like, these guys are giving up at this point now. I mean, understandable. The whole team was winning, and Kalista played is super clean. Honestly, chat. I mean, guys, this is pretty much how you want to play Kalista on AD carry, guys. She's not really played that much currently in the meta, because people think that she's bad, but she's actually pretty good. Her popularity is only at 2%, so if you guys are looking for that champion right now to pick, which doesn't ever get picked for like one chicken, play Kalista. Do it. Anyways, guys, I'm glad I could help. Thank you for watching today. If you guys actually want to see like challenger gameplay from me, I'm streaming like 6 times a week, so don't forget to check that out, guys. If you actually want to see like challenger gameplay from me, there will be a link inside the description. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.